What's up everyone? So believe it or not, okay, I've been pretty much installing every single iOS version since like iOS 11 on all my devices that I've owned. And recently I've been doing speed comparisons and speed tests and everything, and I've been doing them even on my iPhone 8 Plus, 10, and 6S Plus, and I've been pretty much seeing the comparing the speeds, which one's faster at opening apps and whatever. But lately, when I did the last two comparisons I just did, which was the 6S Plus versus the iPhone 8 Plus and versus the iPhone 10, I saw that the 6S Plus in my speed comparisons for a majority of the tests actually was faster on the 6S Plus than it was on the iPhone 10 and the iPhone 8 Plus. And I tried to be as accurate as possible. All the apps were cleared and everything. All the apps were updated at the time too. And majority of the apps were opening faster on the iPhone 6S Plus than on the iPhone 10 and iPhone 8 Plus. And I'll go ahead and show some of these speed comparisons that I did up on the screen. And you can see, I mean, like, it's just like nonstop. I mean, some apps, like I'm going to say, do open faster on the iPhone 8 Plus and they do open faster on the iPhone 10. But I would say for about like 90% of the time, it opens faster on the iPhone 6S Plus. And I'm not too sure why. They're both updated. In fact, the iPhone 10 is on the beta of iOS 12.1, but still that doesn't really make too much of a difference. I've done a speed comparison between 12.0.1 and 12.1 beta 4, and I didn't really see that much of a difference in speed for the iPhone 10. The multi-core score did change a little bit, but it's really not that big of a deal. But in terms of the speed and opening speeds, I mean, I saw that the iPhone 6S Plus is faster, which is so weird. I mean, the iPhone 6S was slower than the iPhone 10 in a lot of the tests. The iPhone 6S was slower than the iPhone 8 in a lot of the tests too. So why is it that the iPhone 6S Plus, which shares almost every single spec, the same as the iPhone 6S, besides the screen, maybe it's a little bit faster, but barely. How is this phone faster than the iPhone 8 Plus and the iPhone 10? Now I'll say that probably the speed of playing the game and everything is probably faster on the iPhone 10 and on the iPhone 8 Plus as well, but I just find it so crazy. I mean, this is like a 2-year-old phone. The fact that it's even that close, I mean, I felt like the iPhone 10 was supposed to be way faster than the iPhone 6S Plus, and it's supposed to be because the iPhone 10 has 3 gigabytes of RAM. It has an extra gigabyte of RAM here, and we have 3 gigabytes of RAM on the iPhone 8 Plus as well, where we only have 2 there. Now, RAM isn't everything, but on an iOS device, RAM does kind of mean a lot. And we also have a hexa-core processor, I believe, on both of these devices, where we only have a dual-core processor on this. So how is this phone still being faster at opening speeds and most of the time loading speeds as well? I saw that loading the apps was faster on the iPhone 6S Plus than on the iPhone 10 and the iPhone 8 Plus. Now again, a lot of people will say, well, you're comparing the older iPhone to an even older iPhone, and yes, that's kind of the case, but if you're spending more money, you should expect to get more of a device. Now, this is probably a temporary thing. Like when I compare the 6S Plus to the iPhone 8 Plus, I was looking at it, I was like, man, like this is probably just a one-off test. This is probably just like a bad example. Maybe something's going on. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. When I compared it to the iPhone 10, I immediately knew like this is not something that's good. Now, I'm not going to say it's a bad thing, okay? The fact that the 6S Plus is still pretty fast, it's faster than the loading or whatever, that's actually a really good thing, and I'm not complaining about it, but I'm just worried that maybe the 6S Plus is at normal speeds and maybe the iPhone 10 and 8 Plus are actually slower, if that makes any sense. Like, I'm not saying Apple's slowing these devices down yet. They might in the future, but what I'm saying is that why is the speed so comparable on these? Are we using all the speed on the iPhone 10 and 8 Plus, or are we just using some of it? I mean, I understand different cores do shut off at different times and not all the RAM is used, but I feel like something like opening an app or loading an app, for example, should be faster. And I'll tell you right now, the multi-core score I have on this thing is 149,204, and that's that's not extremely high, when you compare it to something like the iPhone 10 that has 252,961 and the iPhone 8 Plus that has 245,146. You can see that the score is much higher on the iPhone 8 Plus and the iPhone 10 than it is on the iPhone 6S Plus. But based off my test, I saw that the 6S Plus is faster at opening apps most of the time and loading apps on these devices. Now, you could say that the iPhone 10 has a bigger screen, whatever. It's not even it's barely a bigger screen. It is high resolution. But what's the excuse on the iPhone 8 Plus then? Because this and the iPhone 6S Plus both have the same size screen and the same resolution screen and the same type of whatever. So I don't really think there's an excuse here. Like, what is going on? I mean, like I said, it's a really good thing, but I hope that the 6S Plus is faster versus the iPhone 8 Plus and the iPhone 10 being slower. You know what I mean? This is a really weird thing, and I have a lot of questions. I just don't know how to phrase them. Like, if the iPhone 6S Plus is that much faster. I really hope that the iPhone 8 Plus, which on paper is not only more expensive and everything, but also has way better specs, that this phone would be way faster at opening speeds and everything too. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's kind of a strange situation. I mean, like I said, it's like a good thing, but it's also could be a bad thing as well. But it's a small little thing that I noticed, but that's pretty much it. I mean, that's really good news for the iPhone 6s Plus, but again, I'll do a little bit more research and see what I can find and see what the cause is for the speed increase on iOS 12.0.1 and just iOS 12 in general. I mean, I didn't really see that big of a difference on iOS 12, I'll be honest, but now, like, I don't know what's going on with it, but that is pretty much it, I think. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, leave it down in the comment section below. Hit that like button, that'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber we get really does count, so it'll mean so much if you guys can hit that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel, that is also linked down below. I do a lot more iOS comparisons and everything like that on that channel, so I'd really appreciate if you guys could check that channel out as well. But more importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.